Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, everyone from Australia, New Zealand, all around the world, tuning into Intersim Esports Network broadcast here on round 5 of the Intersim Esports Network Switch Up series, live here from the virtual Bathurst track, rather, not 1000. Sorry, getting too excited. I'm going to Bathurst. We're here for 20 laps around the famous Mount Panorama Bathurst in the Legends car. And joining me up in the booth is Andrew Collins. How are you tonight, Andrew?
Doing very well, mate. Yourself?
Sensational, mate. Looking forward to a great night of racing here. Small field at the moment. It looks like a couple of guys haven't set a lap. It looks like we've got over 20, but it looks like some people haven't set a lap. But it's been a bit of fun. We've had a chat with the guys in Discord earlier, and they're really looking forward to this one. What are you looking forward to the most about this one tonight?
It's a great little track for these cars. You've got Sam up in P1. I've got a fair idea he might take this one. He does race in the Legends Leagues around Phillip Island, and they do a bit of Bathurst. So he'd be very familiar with this. So it'll be interesting to watch and see if the boys can keep up with him.
Yeah, definitely Sam will be really quick tonight, mate. You hit the nail on the head. Sam does a lot of real-life racing. He just comes off the back of racing down in Sydney last weekend, so his spirits will be high. But we just need to jump on. We got JCW up in the booth at the moment, and as we do here on Intersim Esports Network, we take you for a lap around the track in a driver's eyes, and this weekend we have JCW, Joshua Carroll-Walden, taking us for a lap around Bathurst. JCW, you got a copy?
Yep, got a copy, guys.
No worries. We'll let you do your thing and bring some content to all the viewers there, mate. Do your out lap, and if you can get a hot lap in and talk them around a lap of Bathurst Mount Panorama in the Legends.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Tam 1 tonight is just going to be absolutely crucial. You know, really important to get a good long run on a mountain straight here. Mountain straight in these cars, not really much you can do, really. You know, just keep it flat and change gears when the little red light comes on the right-hand side there, then braking fairly hard, actually, and trying to get it right in the groove here through Griffin's Bend. A little bit of wheel work to get through there, and then you start the climb up the mountain, coming into the cone here, and you know you go quite deep and go quite close to that wall there to just get the maximum speed out of it. Coming up to Reed Park here, so you know, as usual, stay to the right, then go to the left, go close to the wall on the exit, and through the grate here. Make sure you hit that nice and smooth. And we're flat through the whole time here. We're flat tonight from Griffin's all the way through McPhillamy Park here, all the way up to Skyline. And this is the best part of the track for us tonight, because we just throw the car down here. And yeah, it's sketchy as hell, and then get it through the dipper. A lot of fun, and there might be a few wrecks there tonight. And down into Forest Elbow here, you know, even a car as small as this does struggle to actually pull up, and also to keep it in the right rev range. And then we race down the hill here, and it's just letting this small engine do all the work. Really, just keep it flat, keep it focused. And up the hill here, up the little rise down cover ride, it does actually struggle a little bit. So that's a unique characteristic for us tonight. Then try to carry maximum speed through the chase here, and brake as late as you can. Try not to mount the curb on the left side there. Follow the track around, and then we come underneath the Armour Bridge here and down into Murray's Corner here, coming on the pit straight. Can be easy to get to just be a little bit slow through there. And that's a lap of Bathurst, guys.
Thank you, Joshua Carroll-Walden, for taking all the viewers on the Intersim Esport Network around a lap of Bathurst in the Legend car. That was really good. It's going to be great tonight. What do you think, quick, JCW, before we let you go, mate, and get ready into quali? What do you think? Do you think the draft's going to be a big factor today down the back straight there into Conrod?
Yeah, I think it will, man, because these cars, you know, have got quite, little power. Yeah, I think the draft will definitely play a part tonight. So yeah, you'll definitely see some weaving to get drivers out of the draft, out of the toe, down the down Cobrod, and also up Mountain Straight as well. If you can get a good run through Hell Corner at the end of Pit Straight, then you should be able to get a good slipstream on the guy in front heading up Mountain Straight.
Yeah, I agree. And with 25 seconds to go, or 18 seconds now in practice, we see a lot of the usual guys up there at the front, but a couple of different guys as well. We've got Jason Martin joining us again tonight, who at the beginning of the series, who is the leader of the series, wasn't going to run every round. So he must be enjoying it, as he's the leader of the series at the moment. Dave Douglas, who's in P3, is currently there in P4 in practice. And unfortunately, Ed Foster couldn't join us tonight, which is your Natari Autosport teammate in other leagues. So, but thank you for allowing yourself to be up in the booth to give that lap to the viewers, mate, and we wish you the best of luck tonight.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
No worries, guys. Well, that was Joshua Carroll Walden from Natari Autosport. As we're going to mention him in the broadcast tonight, JCW taking us for a lap around Bathurst, Mount Panorama. Andrew, what do you think about that lap?
It's not bad at all. Like you said, the draft does play a big thing in these cars because they're like a brick, so they cut the air open. If you can get on the rear bar and follow someone up, then you will get a bit of a pull up both straights there. So.
Yeah, you definitely will. I'm expecting a lot of 3 wide action tonight, to be honest with you, Andrew. As we go into qualifying, it is a 15-minute 2-lap standalone qualifying section. So the first 3-4 minutes are going to be pretty quite uneventful. So it is quite a long lap around here in the little legend cars. So we'll let them just get acclimatized. But while we do that, Andrew, I'm just going to touch on some of the sponsors again in the league and give them a massive shout out. So Mayhem 4x4 Mechanical, amazing for them to come on board tonight. Well, they've come on board all season. They have given iRacing credits to random drivers at the end of the season. TP Graphics, TJ Pollard, who's a part of this series as well in different races, giving away a random paint to someone at the end of each race. John at Vision Simages Sim Racing Photography gives us all the beautiful images that you see at the end of each of these rounds that these drivers can take home. Thank you so much, John. We've also got Virtual Motorsport Mentor Chris Purnell there, giving away a random driver training session to someone at the end of the series. Bruzy Australia, they're giving away a free set of gloves to another random driver at the end of the series. Voodoo, Vinyl and Science need to make a big shout out to these guys because they came on board late in this championship, and the difference with this championship, and we're not the only one that does it, but there's not a lot that do, and we're giving away trophies at the end of this that will be shipped directly to their home anywhere around Australia or New Zealand or around the world. So they're supplying all of the trophies for that, and we thank you so much for them. So guys, get on and follow all these guys on socials and support them, because without these guys, we don't go racing. Of course, here at InterSim Esports Network, we bring you all the action for the InterSim Esports Network Switch Up series. But without these guys, we do not even have a series. So thank you so much to them. As we now watch them start to heat up in their qualifying laps, Andrew, I'll let you take over for a little bit.
Yeah, awesome idea and awesome thing to have the trophies. Gives you something to work that little bit hard for and try and get into every race to get your name up the top of the leaderboard at the end of the season. So receive your trophy. Like you said, not the only ones that do it, but not many people do. As we've got the 06 following Ruben Phelps around here. Come through down on to Conrod. And as JCW was saying, it seemed to struggle up this little bit of a hill here, which is very uncommon for anything to struggle down Conrod. But
it's funny you say that, Andrew, because I did the setup for this one tonight, and I tried with a little bit of rear gear ratios and stuff like that, and I put it onto a bit of a longer ratio, and if you think it struggles on this one, it struggled on the other one. So it's going to be really, really exciting to see how much draft these guys are going to be able to get down Conrod as the race goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys do have one fast repair tonight. We've done that purely because it is Bathurst. It is a tough track, so we don't want guys having their race wiped out straight away. They've got one change of tyres, 75% fuel, so they're going to have to pit. And it's going to be very interesting. All our restarts are going to be double file. So if we do have full course cautions, we're going to stack them and rack them, as they say, and we're going to go again. So sit tight, strap those belts, and get ready for a heck of a 20 laps around Mount Panorama Bathurst.
Yeah, and I reckon we will see a few yellows. Like JCW said, you throw these cars in down here, and they can get out of hand pretty easy. So I think we might see a bit of a jam at the top, coming down through the dipper there or across Skyline's easy to lose. So
yeah, and a trick to a good lap time around here, Andrew. I've done a lot of laps around here and done stuff in real cars and done different stuff, but the trick to a good lap time is being able to dance that car like a pony down the hill. That's where you make up a lot of time. It's very tricky coming across the top of the hill, or not across the top of the hill, coming down and transitioning through. So especially catching those curbs, when to take, when to be able to select that gear down, etc., and to not run too hard, because the whole way down that hill, you're going downhill, so the car doesn't want to stop. So you really need to be able to utilize that brake pedal and modulate it the whole way down, and so you can get all the way down onto the back straight in a clean fashion.
Yeah, that's true. And we're watching Luke Trujillo come up through, where are we there? Through Forest Elbow. So it's also pretty difficult to see, like JCW said, when they come up through the left-hander here, the closer you can keep it to the wall right here, the better run you're going to get up. Sort of short shift a little bit up so you don't lose the back end as you go around the right here. And then, like you said, just hold it pinned and flick that wheel from one side to the other pretty much.
You do, but in these legend cars, after they do 3 or 4 laps, those tyres will start to wear, so she's going to get a little bit loose.
Yeah,
on the back end, they might say they don't have a lot of horsepower, but they're very, very rigid in how they drive. So as we see there, Mirko Dortonat, my teammate from Crank Esports, up to the top at the moment with a 2:37.78, with JCW, the man himself who took us through a lap around Mount Panorama Bathurst, sitting there in second. Got Lockie Yu, as we call him, Lachlan Acujo. Sorry, Lockie, if I said that wrong. I've raced against you a lot. I should know that by now. 0.3 behind, with Michael Skurlock, again, another Crank Esports driver. Half a second behind again, with Ruben Phelps from RP Motorsports behind them. Andrew?
Yeah, and it looks like Sammy might be holding off a bit. I haven't seen him on track yet. As I say that, he goes straight to the top with a 2:37.18. So
yeah, very
6/10 over Mickey D there.
Yeah, Mirko there. He's got Mickey D. We're going to call him Mickey D now. You've now given him a nickname. Let's call him Mickey D. He'll love that.
It was a lot easier than trying to pronounce that last time. So
all right, we're going to call him. Oh, who was that in the wall? Jamie Nankervis into the wall. But yeah, I love that nickname, Andrew. Mickey D. I'm going to tell him on my stream tomorrow night. I'm going to say you're now Mickey D, mate. As we've got 199 of Dave Douglas sending it down the straight at the moment, going into the chase. All green sectors, no purples at the moment, but he's on personal bests. We'll see whether he can convert this into a good lap time and see where this puts him in quali. He went really well through there, didn't catch too much curve.
He does a lot of racing, Dave Douglas. I've seen his name pop up in a few different classes and leagues now, so he gets around it.
Yeah, Dave's a really good driver. He does a lot of the Oval Series stuff, but also does like a lot of road and dirt. He's a really good all-round driver, Dave Douglas. Was my ex-teammate as well. And where's that put him? That just puts him into P4, 0.8 of a second off the pole, but his second lap, as he gets it a bit loose, uses all the curve. The second lap can be quicker in these cars. It's not like when we do road in the NASCARs and stuff, you pretty much get one lap at it. as we're there with Michael Skurlock from Crank Esports in the 350 car, currently sitting in P7. Let's see where he ends up over the line.
He's not going to jump up any further, I don't think.
And he's up into P2, Andrew. Straight up into P2, 0.58 behind and Sam Katakazounis.
He just made a fool out of me there.
Yeah, mate, it's all good. It's all good. It's all happening really quick here at the top. So, ladies and gentlemen, you need to sit in and keep strapped in because these times are going to continually to tumble. There's only 14 cars in here at the moment, which we thought we were going to have about 20. We're not sure on whether people haven't done laps yet or whatever. So all we can see is people that have set a time. So from what we could see as we're watching JCW there trying to chuck another nap. Good job, Aiden. Good job. As we're seeing JCW do another lap now, there's probably going to be more than 14, nearly 20 go into this race. With the qualifying standards, they do have off tracks, they do have all that type of stuff. So the only people you're seeing are the people that have set a clean lap. So tune in, guys. Once again, thank you for everyone tuning in again for round 5 of the Into Sim Esports Network Switch Up series from Bathurst in the Aussie cars for round 5.
It just looks like a big caution flag, that car, doesn't it? You definitely see him coming back in your mirror.
Well, hopefully you haven't given him the commentator's curse, Andrew, and he brings out all the cautions tonight. So he did do the lap, and it seems like he's staggering a little bit down the straight there, so he might hit the wall across the top.
Oh, that or he's had a few too many already, but...
Nah, JCW is usually good, so he'll be right. But this is what the Switch Up series is all about. Everything's different. Everyone's driving something different every week, and they have different capabilities in different cars. But in saying that, a lot of people that run this series are sensational drivers in everything they do. So from all of us, Aiden, Prue, Paul, and even you, Andrew, jumping in, commentating again with us, we thank you so much for joining our series. And from everyone, Australia, New Zealand, around the world, everyone tuning in to the Into Sim Esports Network, we thank you so much for supporting us. We also thank Locked On iRacing, rather. We thank them a lot. They have been giving a lot of content for us in their podcast and showing what this series is all about. So if anyone out there which is a part of iRacing and wants to get a part of this series, we will be doing a Series 2 at the end of this. But you can still jump into Series 1. The way these points are tailored, you can jump in and still win the series. There are double points for the final 2 rounds. It's all about participation. It's all about fun. These guys are serious as well. So hit us up. You can find the Discord links in all the socials. We share it all the time. Get on there, register, and come and be a part of it, because from everything we hear from all the guys around it, they're loving that they get to do something different. And on a Friday night when not a lot of leagues are on, what do you want to do? Maybe have a beer and come race. So that's what we're trying to create.
Yeah, no, very good idea. Like you said, the Switch Up series is very good. As we were talking about Dave Douglas before, you've got to be good over every field here, whereas most leagues just run the one class. So you have specialists that all they do is that class, whereas this one you've got to be good at pretty much every class to be able to get up to the top.
Yeah, you do to an extent, Andrew. Yeah, you do. But from what we've seen in the early... Well, actually, you did hit the nail on the head there, because what we've seen in the early 4 rounds, or the first 4 rounds, is some of the usual guys have been up the front. But we went to dirt for round 3 at Eldora in the midgets, and we had Rob Fletcher, who really struggled in the ovals and the road, and he's on there again tonight, part of Mitch Motorsports with Josh Micklemore, and he comes second, and he was an absolute weapon. So that's where the difference. You never give up, because you can always get the points back and to be able to catch up to the top. But next week, just quickly before we get to the end of qualifying, as we see Sam Katakazounis in P1, Michael Skurlock in P3 from Crank Esports, and Mirko Dordenak Michael Skurlock in P2 from Crank Esports and Mirko Dordenak in P3 from Crank Esports, my teammate. So I might have a bit of a soft spot there. So we need to have a look ahead and let all the viewers know. Round 6 next week, we did have a poll come out and we were asking whether we changed it up a little bit instead of dirt, and everyone has said no, we're going to run dirt. So round 6 is from Lanier Speedway in the dirt streak stock. So we're looking forward to that one, Andrew.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind doing that one myself. I don't mind the old dirt streak stocks. One of my favourites to drive. So be very good to watch. I'll definitely be tuning in if I'm not in here with you helping.
And it looks like that qualifying is just about done. I'm sure I'll hear that from Paul in my ear very shortly as we're about to go down and dirty, even though we're not on the dirt, but we're about to go hard.
3 wide, I reckon. 3 wide around the top
3 or
of the
4
mountain.
wide. Anyway, we'll just have a quick look. Andrew, if you want to take the spectators around the track and all the details about the track.
Yeah, so we running, obviously, there is only one Bathurst, and it's the full, obviously, in Australia, city of Bathurst. Track length 6.14k, which is quite a lot of distance. Temperature of 58 degrees Celsius, altitude of 709 meters. So the weather, what are we running? 26 degrees there, 53% humidity, partly cloudy with a wind of 3 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, no, I think that 58 degrees Celsius is probably not where we are. It's
Yeah,
around about the 24. I don't know. iRacing might have had a little bit of a heart attack there.
It's got the 20. Yeah, 26 on the weather on the right there, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but
partly cloudy. We have no chance of rain. iRacing's not that smart at the moment to do that. But as we cross into the grid, I'll do down to 12, Andrew, and you can follow on. So out of pole for round 5 of the Intersim Esports Network Switch-Up Series is Sam Katakazunas for Team Bushfink Racing. Out of 2 is Michael Skurlock for Crank Esports. Out of 3 is Mirko Dordenak for Crank Esports. 4, Jason Martin for Mitch Motorsports. Dave Douglas out of P5, Terry Marwood for EFT Racing P6, JCW, who took us on that hot lap, Joshua Carroll Walden for Natari Autosport out of P7, Lockie Yu, Lachlan Acuzio in P8, Ruben Phelps for RP Motorsports P9, Josh Mickelmore for Mitch Motorsports in 10, Luke Trahere from Crank Esports, again, another one of my teammates in P11, and out of 12, Jamie Nankervis for EFT Racing.
We got out of where were we there? 12. She's dropped down. So got Shane Wright in 13, Sean King in 14, Rob Fletcher in 15, and Sean McLaughlin. I nearly said Scott McLaughlin there. Sean McLaughlin out of P16, and we're off.
And we're off. They've jumped off Green Flag Racing before we could get through the grid. That was off really quick as Sam Katakazunas gets the jump. I do not know why that went so quick or we took so long to get through the grid. So as we head up Mountain Straight now, we see Sam Katakazunas with a great, or Katakazinas, sorry, I can never pronounce that correctly, have a great jump off the front. So let's just settle in and watch this first lap. It's been really pedestrian through the first corner. So let's just sit in and see how they go.
I think he's got just enough of a gap there to stop the draft from behind him. So
he definitely does, and we will, ladies and gentlemen, we will bring drivers up into the broadcast booth and have a chat with them during the race. We haven't even warned them that we're going to do this, so this is going to be a bit exciting. So we're going to do that. That's what we're about at Intersim Esports Network. We create content for you guys at home to be able to come and watch and join every week as we watch Ruben Phelps go across the top of the mountain there. They've spread out really quickly, which is really surprising. But what I'm really interested to see is down Conrod to see how that draft is going to happen and how that's going to affect the drive. So currently we have Sam Katakazinas in P1, Michael Skurlock P2, Mirko Dordenak P3, Jason Martin P4, David Douglas P5, Joshua Carroll Warden P6, Terry Marwood P7, Lockie Yu, P8, Joshy Mickelmore, P9, and Jamie Nankervis rounding out the 10 as we come on to Conrod for the first time as they strap their belts down with cold tyres to an extent all the way down into 5th gear, flat out all the way through the chase. Looks like Luke Trahare's had an issue at the back as well. Not sure I've heard that in my... Here we go to the instant replay from Blocker Jackson.
Right. He has dropped spots from his starting position, so he's got up on the ripple strip there, and then do that in the pack, and you block that track off pretty quickly. But as JCW said, you've got to try and keep these things off the ripple strip because they don't really like it.
No, they definitely don't, and we can't even bring
Curvis
Luke
off track there. Just noticed too. No, I think we might have got that wrong, but it just flashed up on the timing board there. He was off track.
Yeah, can't even bring Lukey up at the moment. They're in a different Discord, so I was hoping to have a chat to Luke and see what happened there, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I'll see whether I can get him up here. So, Andrew, I'll let you take over for a second.
Yeah, no worries, mate. It looks like Sammy's going to run away with this one. He's 1.5 seconds ahead already as he comes up Mountain Straight. What have we got? So we've got Skurlock, and as I'm going to call him for the night, Mickey D, pretty close together. So within 4 tenths. So still in the draft there, I reckon. If you can get up alongside him and get a better run out of Forest Elbow there, up into the cutting, then he might be able to, might be the class to follow at the moment. Oh, something in the background there through Forest Elbow. Oh, Ruben Phelps.
I have no idea.
Oh, Ruben Phelps
Ruben
in the
Phelps
wall.
gone around. So let's see what's happened there on the instant replay. Oh, we're just a bit too far back. Here we go.
Oh, who's up the inside there?
What did you just lose?
That was car 4, I believe. Shannon Wright.
I reckon
Oh, wait,
something's
please.
gone wrong with Ruben there, because that's really odd for the car to do that. Really, really odd.
I'll have another look at this. No, he's just lost it on his own. Oh, is it a bit of net code or? He lost the back end of it going in, but he sort of looked like he gathered it and then lost it again. So I'm not.
Yeah, no idea what happened there, but I've got Ruben up in the booth at the moment. Ruben, you got a copy, mate? Ruben, have you got a copy? He's probably a little bit too busy going down the hill at the moment. We'll just let him do his thing. He'll come back to us if he wants to.
Oh, there's definitely damage on that car now, obviously. So you can see it flirting the arse and sliding around there. It's going to be hard to get down through the depot. Crabbing down Conrod Straight there.
All right, we'll let Ruben get back to his business and drop him back down. Obviously, he's a little bit busy at the moment, and probably stupid of us to think that these guys are going to want to talk to us while they're driving around. But we're always trying to give you a little bit more knowledge of what's going on with the guys. So I'll drop him back down into his team.
So Sammy's ran away. The best battle from what I can see here is Skurlock and Marco D. Your man there, Aiden. Although Skurlock seems to have just pulled away from him here. They were a lot closer last time up Mountain Straight.
Yeah, it's sort of stagnated at the top, to be honest. You've got Skurlock and Sam sort of getting away at the front, but there's a big difference in pace here. But I'm interested to see the tyre drop off. They're going to have to pit, I believe, from what I did in practice with the 75% fuel. So it's not all over yet. And as we've just seen with Ruben, it can go bad really quickly as we're just there with the 62 car. So
what do you think the fuel window will be, Aiden? Where do you think? What lap do you reckon they'll be able to pit to get home?
Oh, to be honest, I wish I knew that. I probably should know that as running the series. I just set it up.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking around about 12 to 15 laps. It's not going to be a long window, so it's whether they pit early or whether they pit late.
Yeah.
Or they might get through to the end yet. I just thought 75% fuel. Has been a busy afternoon with me with work and everything, so being able to understand what it's done, trying to wind the setup into it for them and everything. So we'll see how that goes, and that's the interesting part about this one, because we don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to be able to figure it out, because we do have the beautiful fact to be able to talk to the drivers, and I'm going to try and have another chat with another one, and one that I know will be able to have a chat with us. I'm going to bring up Lachlan Urquio, or Acrisio, into there, and he can let us know exactly the question you just asked.
Crabbing down the straight there.
Lachlan, Aidan from the broadcast booth with Andrew, mate. Sorry to jump on without any notice. We see you got a bit of damage there, mate. I know that you'd be welcome to have a chat to us. That's why we jumped up. What happened with the damage there, mate?
Car in front lost it and came spinning back on the track. Not much I could do. I hedged my bets to go right, and he went right too, so I'm actually about to dive into the pits here and grab a fast repair, because it's just a little bit too slow in a straight line for my liking.
Yeah, no worries. So we're on board here with Lachlan Acusio. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Lockie. You can,
close enough.
You can say that to the viewers. So hometown is Wandon North, runs for ANZ CRL Esports, or ANZ Control, whatever you want to say. His own team. So
not my team, sorry. It's that one's run by Jake Saddington.
Sorry, mate. I thought that was yours. My apologies. How was it looking on fuel, though? Did it look like with the 75% fuel, you were going to have to make a stop?
That's definitely going to be needed a pit stop.
Yeah, definitely. Are you going to be?
All right.
So you're going to be
take fuel then, or?
Yeah, I took fuel then. It's going to be tight though.
Right. Okay, so that sort of answers our question from before.
Did you take your tyres as well?
No tyres.
Okay, so well, this is going to be interesting to see how you go at the back end of the race. But thank you, mate, for making yourself available to the viewers. Sorry to just bring you up here, but we knew that you would make yourself available. So we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the race.
No problem, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the race.
You too, mate. Hopefully your luck gets a little bit better.
Fingers crossed, anyway.
All right, take care, mate.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, I don't know that his fast repair did a lot for the car there. It does still look a bit bent up, but a very interesting decision to take fuel and no tyres. Does that mean surely he's not planning on pitting again? It wouldn't be a two-stopper, would it?
No, it's definitely not a two-stopper if you keep out of trouble. And I'm really worried about how that fast repair has not repaired his car, whether he didn't select the fast repair in his black box. I got no idea, but we're about to find out when he goes down Conrod Straight at the moment. Well, we're about to transition down the hill. Yeah, it definitely got paced, yeah.
Yeah, it does look like it's driving straighter. Just they just left the body repair out. But from that angle, it looked okay. So maybe it's just a paint job that's throwing us out a bit there.
Yeah, definitely weird, but we'll see how we go. As he's right on the back there, Ruben Phelps, who had an incident earlier, as he's trying to send it down. He's got to be really careful if he's used his fast repair. This is going to be the teller, ladies and gentlemen, to see whether Lockie Yu does have pace in that car. It looks like he does. Look at him go. So from what we see with that damage on the front of the car, he's just driving away from Ruben. But in saying that, Ruben hasn't come in with his repairs yet, so Ruben might be playing smart.
Yeah, just hold off and do it all in one hit. But I can't see that his tyres are still going to be any good by lap 18, 19, 20. So I'm a bit surprised that he just took fuel on that one, but we will find out.
Yeah. Yeah, as we see currently, Dave Douglas in P4 with Jason Martin, the current Intersim Esports Network Switch Up Series leader, right behind Dave Douglas. Dave Douglas is in third in the championship at the moment, so this is looking good for Dave if he can hold this one on as he gets a little bit loose as Jason's putting the pressure on behind him, coming up the mountain into the cutting. So we'll see what happens here, whether Dave can hold on to it. But these guys have been amazing all year in the Intersim Esports Network Switch Up Series. Jason Martin leading it, having, I think, top three results. You can correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but done a really, really good job. Dave unfortunately missed one round of the series, which has put him back into third. But as I've said earlier in this broadcast and all the broadcasts before, that the final two rounds double points, so it's definitely anyone's. I do need to make a shout out though to Jamie Nankervis in P7, who had an issue earlier in the race. I don't know whether he went into the pits and took a fast repair, but he's sitting there in P7, only 25 seconds off the lead. So he's done good to recover from that earlier incident.
Yeah, up 5 spots. You've got Rob Fletcher up 6, is the biggest mover in the race in P9. So there's definitely some boys making up for a few of the mistakes of the others.
Yeah, most definitely. Rob's been doing a really good job. He had a really rough start to the season. He'll be the first to say that to you. We've spoken to him a lot off air, and he was really excited to get that P2 in the dirt and the midgets. And he's backing it up tonight with a solid P9. And the way that we've seen this earlier, and we're only 4 laps in, the way we've seen it, anything can happen. So this is probably a race where I think a lot of guys can make a lot of positions in the championship.
Certainly can, as we see. No, he's having a good run, Terry Marwood there with Nankervis. So we see Sammy's bolted 2.9, nearly 3 seconds up the road from Skurlock there. So as we predicted at the start of the race, he's definitely going to be the one to beat. Here we go again.
Up Mountain Straight against Dave Douglas. Jason Martin on the outside. Who's going to yield into the corner? Looks like Dave Douglas is going to sit in behind him. There he goes, trying to get the draft. Is Dave going to be able to make the move, or is he going to sit behind? Going to poke the nose, try and force a mistake. No, he was never going to make a move there. He was waiting for Jason, but Jason's too smart for that. So here we go. Dave Douglas is going to settle himself in behind as we come up now into the BP cutting and see what Dave Douglas can do across the top of the mountain. But I think what Dave's doing, Andrew, is he's going to sit behind across the top of the mountain here, and he's going to make his move down Conrod.
Yeah, that sounds like the smart thing to do. How many laps? 15 to go, so we've still got a long way to go. Like, the cars don't get around the 6.14 Ks very quickly, so got plenty of time up his sleeve. He could just sit behind, save fuel and tyres, and try and get a bit of an undercut in the pits, maybe. Try that. There's a few different options he has up his sleeve.
Yeah, the thing I'm really disappointed tonight about Andrew is I thought that the slipstream and I thought the racing would have been a lot closer. But in saying that, the driving are different people and they liking different disciplines is probably where that has changed. I was thinking we might have had a lot of slipstreaming 3 wide down Conrod, but it hasn't worked out that way so far. But if we get a full course yellow, the way that we've set it up, it's going to be a 2 wide restart. So we're still another 14 laps before the end, so anything can happen yet.
Yeah, but as you say, the gaps between them all, it's going to be something big's going to have to happen to get a full course yellow. So, yeah, I mean, they've pretty much separated each other on the first lap, didn't they? They've got a couple of little battles going on here and there, but I myself am a bit surprised that there's not closer together.
Yeah, definitely surprised. As we see Dave Douglas now make the move. Here we go. He didn't wait for Conrod. He waited now until the last corner as he goes up the inside of Jason Martin. Can they get through there cleanly? Jason opens the steering wheel, just lets him go. But you watch up Mountain Straight now, Dave. Jason will just position the car and try to get a good run up Mountain Straight, and don't be surprised if he doesn't make another run at the end of Mountain Straight.
Yeah, it all depends on how they come out of Hell Corner there.
A little bit loose there at a Hell Corner. As there's Skurlock going up Mountain Straight as well. But I would really like to have a look at this battle between Jason Martin and Dave Douglas to see who's going to come out on top. That slipstream wasn't working as well as I thought. Dave Douglas holds it.
Just pegged it in there, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Come up through the cutting. It's going to be not the easy. You're not going to pass in these things up through here unless the guy in front makes a mistake. But
no, you pretty much follow the leader up across the top in these ones.
Yeah. Unless you can get a good run across the what they call the grate there, up in the turning onto Skyline.
Oh, as Dave Douglas nearly hits the outside wall there, he's really trying hard to get in front of Jason Martin and make that gap go bigger, and he's doing a really great job at the moment. He's driving away from Jason as Jason gets really loose coming across the top there. So I did mention earlier in the broadcast about tyres. It looks like tyres might be starting to be an issue.
Yeah, he's put a second on him already.
Oh, sorry, Andrew. I thought Jason was in the fence then again.
He did get a bit loose there, definitely. So maybe the battle, Dave's looked after his tyres a little bit better, and Jason's had to work really hard to stick with him and maybe thrown his tyres away already.
Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see whether they come back to him. But currently we do have Sam Katakazunas in the 968 in P1, Michael Skurlock in P2, Mirko Dortnak in P3 doing an amazing job. P4, as you see, Dave Douglas, and P5, Jason Martin, the battle that we just saw on board. Then P6, Josh Mickelmore up 4 spots. P7, Jamie Nankervis is up 5 spots for EFT Racing. Great job from Jamie there. Let's see what happens during the transition of the pit stop. P8 is Rob Fletcher, who we mentioned earlier in this broadcast, who's a dirt specialist. He's doing a great job. And Lockie Yu, who we spoke to earlier as well, in P9. And Joshua Carroll-Walden, JCW, who took us for a lap around there in practice and was doing well in qualifying, rounding out the top 10.
Fletcher up 7 spots. Going to a replay here. Shannon Wright, by the looks of it, hearing in the ear, has had a bit of an off moment. Oh, no. Whoa.
Oh.
How's he ended up down there? I don't think I've ever hit there before. And he's just binned it.
Oh no, Shannon's got a night to forget. He just keeps driving it into the wall.
There we go.
No, poor old Shannon.
No turn left in that thing at all.
But Andrew, we do have one fast repair, so he'll use that, and he will be back in there ready to go around.
Yeah, he's into the pits there to have a repair. That was funny.
That's Mount Panorama Bathurst for you, Andrew. That's how easy it can happen.
I see Sammy here. He's 4.5 seconds clear of Skurlock, so you see, look at the way he just slides the car around beautifully.
Mirko is right on the back of Skurlock. I wish I could get these guys up here at the moment. They're in another Discord chat, and I can't get them up here. So I wish I could, because these guys would be having a great time. They're actually my teammates that I've mentioned in other things. So really great to see these guys going well. Not that I'm biased about them going well, but I wish I could get them up here and hear what they're saying, because it'd be some great content. But yeah, second and third there for Michael Skurlock and Mirko Dortnak. Great racing by these guys. We'll see whether they can come back on Sam Katakazunas. But, no. Sorry, Paul's just been in my ear. Looks like JCW's had a crash and in the pit.
It's that big caution flag.
Yeah, see, there's the commentator's curse, Andrew. You did it.
Yeah.
So if we need to commentate, if we need to have a conversation with him later, I'm blaming that all on you, mate.
Yeah, I'll cop that. That's fair enough. He could have made it interesting and taken a few more out and given us the double stack start, as we said before, but it's not what we wish on anyone. We don't really want anyone to crash. So
No, it looks like we're going to go green to the end here, but we still got to transition through pit stops. We're still not even halfway through yet, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you guys from everyone from Australia, New Zealand, all around the world for tuning into InterSim Esports Network, our broadcasting channel for the Switch Up series on a Friday night from 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We thank all our sponsors, Vision Simages, Locked On Lads or Locked On iRacing, TP Graphics, Abruzzi Australia, Mayhem 4x4 Mechanical, Virtual Motorsport Mentor, and Voodoo Vinyl and Signs. Without these guys, all these images will not be coming to you. And thank you so much to Paul Jackson sitting there in the background doing all the amazing camera shots that you see here from the InterSim Esports Network Switch Up series. So thank you, Paul, for doing that. And guys,
I see in the background there, Mirko looked like he bounced off the walls up through Forest Elbow there, and he's dropped off the back of Skurlock. So I think he's had a bit of an issue there. Nothing too serious, but definitely think I got a glimpse of him over the other side of the ripple strip there. So
he possibly could have, but the gaps have really, really opened up, and really,
yeah, I'm sure. He's definitely hit that left-hand side of the car. I'm pretty sure through Forest Elbow there.
yeah, very unfortunate for Mirko there. He was really going really good on the back of Michael Skurlock as he runs it in really deep there through.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, I'm too busy getting excited. All these cameras are changing and I'm just getting super excited. But it will heat up. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, it will heat up. I reckon this is the calm before the storm.
Yeah, once the leaders start to take their pits and we see where they're all going to go out. So we've got 12 to go. So we started with 20. So you'd expect them to come in anywhere sort of in the next 4 or 5, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a chat to one of the other drivers, and we're going to surprise him, but I'm sure he won't mind either, and get an idea of what their pit strategy is. So we've just moved up Josh Mickelmore, and Josh, I'm sorry to move you up unexpected because I know you're concentrating, mate. Aidan Schultz from the broadcast booth here, mate. Do you have a copy first?
Yeah, mate, I got you.
Yeah, mate, how's your race going? So, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Mickelmore on board at the moment. We'll go in car with him, age 31 from Murray Bridge in South Australia, is it, Josh?
It is,
Yeah, mate,
certainly.
South Aussie.
Certainly
Good
is, South
speedway
Aussie. Yeah,
Good
yeah.
speedway down.
So we're on board with Joshy, mate. You can talk him through a lap if you want to. Otherwise, we can just talk to you. How's your race going so far, mate? When do you think your pit strategy is going to play out? When do you think you're going to come into pit?
I'm not sure yet, to be honest with you. We'll see what these other guys are doing. Not sure whether they take tyres or not either, to be honest with you. But lap times seem to be sort of consistent for me. But yeah, we'll see how we go here.
How many more laps do you reckon you've got fuel-wise there, Josh?
I reckon we'll get about 17, 18 laps on a tank.
Right, okay.
Yeah, righto. So we've run it out. There's only a couple of laps to spare. So it's where you're going to be able to make that pit stop and when you want to do it to be able to stop undercuts, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Or do you try and back off a bit and fuel save and do it with... Oh, is it a mandatory stop, Aidan? Or?
No mandatory stop, Andrew. It's just the fuel base. So if they can fuel save and make it to the end, that's up to them.
2 laps around Bathurst is a fair lot of fuel saving though. So I doubt we'll see that, but it is something they could have a crack at.
Yeah, most definitely. But Josh, do you want to take a little bit of a run around and talk, or do you want to let you get back into the groove, mate, and finish your race?
I'll let you guys keep doing your thing.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that, mate. I'd say the same thing.
Got
So
a
we'll
head
push you
full
back
there.
down. We'll push you back down. You're going down the mountain at the moment, so we'll leave you alone.
Cheers, mate.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's Josh Mickelmore from Mitch Motorsports making himself available on one of the hardest tracks around Australia. So thank you, Josh, for doing that as we are now going into about 11 to go. It looks like they can do 17 to 18 laps under green. So they're all going to have to pit at some stage. So who's going to pit first? Who's going to blink?
Yeah, so the oh,
Oh,
of
no.
no, I was just about to say Mirko's the lead. He's the first in line of the ones that are pitted.
As we go, Andrew, you take over, man.
As we just said, VJ's in our ear that he's had a crash, so he's lost the back of it there. Oh, it's coming onto Conrad straight there. He's just gone in a bit hot, bounced off the wall, and yeah, it's destroyed. Oh, he's towed. He's had enough of that. He's not going to bother trying to drive that down Conrad, and he's going to waste another 2.5 minutes sitting in pits before he even gets to his fast repair. So that's going to end his night, unfortunately.
That's really unfortunate for Mirko. He was running a solid top 3 there, so really unfortunate. But he'll get back out there and keep circulating. So we currently see Mickelmore, who we were just speaking to, who was nowhere near the top 3, now jump into the top 3. But we do have guys that have pitted. So Jason Martin has come into the pits. Mirko, as we just saw, had an unfortunate incident. Looks like JCW's disconnected and he's out at the moment. And also McLaughlin and King is out of the race. So really unfortunate for those guys.
Yeah, and we see, as again, Sammy's just put another second on Skurlock, so he could nearly do a pit stop and drive out in front of them all, as without anyone else stopping. But
yeah, it's sort of got really tame in the mid-sector of this race, but we're halfway through it and we'll keep going to the end as we always do. So currently we got Sam Katakazunas in P1, Michael Skurlock in P2, 9 seconds behind, with Josh Mickelmore, who we're just on board with, in P3, 20 seconds behind Sam. Dave Douglas, 53 seconds behind in P4. Jason Martin in P5. Lockie Yu in P6. Jamie Nankervis in P7. Rob Fletcher, P8. Terry Marwood, P9. And Ruben Phelps rounding out the top 10. Yeah, as we've seen all night, ladies and gentlemen, Dave Douglas and Jason Martin have not been able to separate themselves. They have been like a yo-yo or a magnet as Dave Douglas gets loose there out onto Conrad, and we see Jason Martin making the run down Conrad on the inside. Who's going to yield down in through the chase? But Jason looks like he's going to clear him. Or is Dave going to position him car on the outside to have... No, he's cleared him. I'm getting too excited. I'm thinking, is Dave going to be able to stay on the outside and position his car to make a move? He's going to try. I'll guarantee you Dave's going to try. No, is he going up the inside? No, he's just settled in. So add on the side of the caution there, Andrew.
certainly has. It's not a bad battle, though. It's about the only one we've got going on through the field, so...
Well, how about, Andrew, I'm going to put something to you. How about we go on with Dave Douglas in his cockpit for 1 or 2 laps and just watch this battle from Dave's cockpit and let the viewers see what it's like to drive a legend around Bathurst with the car in front.
Sounds good to me, mate. So it looks like Michael Skurlock's made his move into the pits there, so he's pulled out there. We'll see what Sammy decides to do, whether he follows him or just keeps on going.
Yeah, good to see what the strategy here, whether Sam's going to try and cut him off, but I think that Sam definitely has the raw pace, so it doesn't really matter what Skirlurkin, as he calls himself, does here. I think Sam's got this one tied up, so doing a really good job there at the front from Sam.
So Jason and Dave, what are we, 4/10? Timing board's just gone all haywire on me there. So they were a lot closer. So Jason's 4/10 up on him. So Ruben Phelps has just had a bit of an issue here. What's going on here as he comes down the hill? This is where they've all had, yeah.
Oh,
They all seem to be going into that one spot.
Yeah, too much rear brake bias there from the guys. So I know that from in practice, you can get definitely loose into that corner. So second incident for Ruben tonight, which is really unfortunate as we run into the back end of this race with 8 laps to go. Once again, we need to make a massive shout out to our sponsors, and we do this every week, all week, because without this, we would not be able to make this possible. Mayhem 4x4 Mechanical, get on socials for them. They're giving iRacing credits to random drivers at the end of the series. TP Graphics, TJ Pollard giving a random paint to a driver at the end of every round of this series, which is great. John from Vision Simages, Sim Racing Photography, with all the amazing images you see on Facebook and socials every week. Virtual Motorsport Mentor Chris Purnell giving a free driver training session to a random driver at the end of the series as well. Thank you, Chris. Voodoo Vinyls and Signs, doing everything vinyl, signs, stickers, everything. Actually does a lot for Triple Eight Racing. So thank you, him. He's supplying all the trophies for the series. Abruzzi Australia supplying a random set of gloves, or a free set of gloves to a random driver at the end of the series as well. So thank you, guys. We cannot thank you enough. We're absolutely overwhelmed with the support of this series as well. Although it's not as big a field as we would have wanted tonight, where we're usually averaging 25 to 30, it's still some great drivers. So, yeah, we're really excited to bring this content to you, and I hope that you guys at home are really enjoying this and watching some good racing each and every week. Different series each round. Different concept each round, different car, different track, different discipline. So we'll just run through, well, the race settles down with 7 to go. We have currently been through the first 4 rounds as we're sitting here into round 5 of the InterSim Esports switch-up series, Esports Network switch-up series. Round 1 was at Indianapolis for 80 laps in the NASCAR trucks, and it was literally 0.002 between the leaders for first and second, so that was great. Round 2, we went to Watkins Glen in the IndyCar and the boot circuit, which was just an amazing race. Sensational with a lot of drivers. Really, really well done by all drivers. Round 3, Eldora. We went there in the midget, which was really, really good fun and a lot of good driving. And it really showed the different skill of drivers on different disciplines that night, which really, really changed up the points in the series. Then last Friday, we went to Miami for 134 laps in the NASCAR Cup car. With that setup, it wasn't the most ideal setup, but, you know, this is the switch-up series and it's the same for everyone. So we had a really good race there, and again, the cream rise to the top. Jason Martin, who you see there in 4th, won that one. And what we do each week too with the winner is their picture that they get for the winner will be our cover picture for the InterSim Esports Network. So we do that for a little bit of fun for the guys to be able to be there for a week and to be the poster boy, so to speak. This week we're at Bathurst, as you see right now. Next week we are at Lanier for 30 laps in the dirt street stock with heat racing before that. Then we go to round 7 at Chicagoland for 137 laps in the V8 Supercar, which is a bit different, V8 Supercar on an oval. Then we go to Laguna Seca for 40 laps in, the V8. I got that wrong. I've written this down totally wrong. It's Chicagoland for 130 laps in the V8 Supercar. Then we go to Laguna Seca for 40 laps. Then USA International Speedway in the dirt modifieds in dirt. Then we go to Talladega for round 10 the next Friday after that for 80 laps in the NASCAR outdoor trucks. Then we go to Lime Rock Park for 30 laps in the Mazda MX-5. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope that a lot of these oval and dirt guys do that because that's going to be a lot of fun. And round 12 at the moment, we're not sure whether we're going to do that for round 12, but we will talk about this on all our socials and we'll make it completely known well in advance. But currently we have it scheduled for 50 laps in the dirt midget at Chili Bowl, which to me is one of my favourite races around the world to be able to watch. But round 11 and 12 are double points. So those two races, we tried to make it hard to try and mix it up to be able to mix up the points. But we'll see how we go into the back end of it as we have 6 laps to go. I probably rambled on there a little bit, Andrew, but just trying to give people an insight of what this series is. If you do want to get a part of this series, there is still time. Jump onto our Facebook page, Into2Sim, IN2SIM, Esports Network on Facebook. Follow the page, like the page. There's all the Discord links in there to be able to register into the series to get amongst it. Get amongst it. There's so much more. We are going to do a series 2. We're absolutely overwhelmed with all the support we've had in the first 5 rounds, and I'm sure we're going to continue to get the support moving into the back end of the season. This is a different league where we do race a different discipline, different car every week, but we do have trophies. We do have all these giveaways that we have every week, which we are so proud to be able to bring to you. So get amongst it. It's not about just racing. If you want to race and be part of a racing community, racing family, and to be able to get something out of your racing each week, be sure to jump in there because that's what we're all about. Andrew?
Yeah, definitely. And it just goes to show that you guys behind the scene, you and Prue and Paul do an awesome job. To have the people you do backing, giving like your gloves, trophies. It's not seen in a lot of leagues these days. So a big congratulations to yourself, mate, on getting a little bit back.
Yeah, it's not a congratulations to me or Paul or Prue, I don't think.
I think you deserve it. You wouldn't get the backing you didn't get if people didn't think you did a good job. You obviously put a lot of effort in. The Facebook page is updated constantly. So as you said before, anyone interested in joining, get in and follow the page, like the page, share it around to your mates. Just see if you can get a few of you to jump in.
Yeah, mate, it's all about the sponsors. That's what it's about. It's not about us at Into2Sim Esports Network. Without these sponsors, we don't get to run every week. We do have a lot of people that we know outside of it in real world motorsport, which have jumped on board to be able to help us out, which has been great, and they'll continue to support us. But that's why it's so important for everyone here on the viewers or all the viewers to jump on to their Facebook pages and support them. So I'm just going to make one more thing before we go into these last 5 laps of racing. I really want to talk about these Facebook pages because you really need to get on and support them. So Vision Simages, John at Vision Simages, all the beautiful vision that you've seen on all the pictures from the first 4 rounds has all been from John. So if any of you guys want any vision or pictures or any of that type of stuff, jump on and ask John because I reckon he's best in the business. And that's not just because he's sponsoring the league and creating the images. He's literally created images for me and I'm blown away. Locked On Lads and Locked On iRacing, sensational guys. They cover everything iRacing. And it's not just about our league. They cover ANSCAR, they cover AOSC, they cover so many other leagues, and it's so good to get on and listen and see what other people are doing in iRacing, and they give our guys that run this series and who wins it a chance to be able to jump on and have a talk about their race. So jump on and follow their Facebook page and have a listen to their podcast, because it's really, really good and some really detailed information. TP Graphics with TJ Pollard, really, really good designer of car images and doing wraps and stuff like that for your iRacing. So jump onto him. He does give away the free wrap each week, but if you are looking for a wrap outside of winning a free one and you don't have a team or someone that does it, jump on and give him a go. A Bruzy Australia for all your sim racing stuff. Jump on with them. The Australian distributor, rather, if I can get that out, JP, jump on, and anything you need with
if you
wear
go, I
for
would
your
back out on that.
iRacing
I wasn't gonna fucking defend you.
racing, rather, jump on and do that as we see some of the late pit stops going on now, and I'll get through this really quickly. Virtual Motorsport mentor Chris Pennell, one of the most amazing iRacing drivers I've been a part of, as they're about to go out of the pits, and feel free to jump over me. I'm just trying to give massive plugs now. Whoever wins this free driver session at the end of the series, it's going to be amazing for them. You'll learn a lot, and most of all, Voodoo Vinyl and Signs, supplying all the trophies at the end of the series for all these competitors. Get on and support them on socials. If you don't know their Facebook links, jump onto our Into Sim iRacing or Into Sim Esports Network Facebook page. You'll get all the links there, so you can jump on and follow those guys. As we've got 4 to go, and I'll stop babbling on, with the 968 car of Sam Katakazunas at the moment at the front, with 5 seconds behind Michael Skurlock.
Yeah, Skurlock's taken a few seconds out of him there, and by pitting a bit earlier, may have got onto a set of fresh tyres, and it's still 5.5 seconds behind him, but it did blow out to about 9 there, so he's definitely made up some ground.
Yeah, we missed the transfer of pit strategies there because I was too busy banging on with all the sponsors, which is well deserved, because at the end of the day, they are the main thing that make this series go around, so we can't stop them off. But we've got 4 laps to go. Sam Katakazinas in first, Michael Skurlock in fourth. Jason Martin has got the rub of the green over Dave Douglas in fourth. Joshy Micklemore up into fifth. Lockie Yu into sixth. Jamie Nankervis doing a stellar job still there in P7. And Rob Fletcher in P8. So Jamie Nankervis, Lockie Yu and Rob Fletcher, and even Josh Micklemore, this is going to do really good for their championship points. But from what I am seeing at the moment, with the way these points work, it's still going to be Martin on top at the moment, with Skurlock 5 points behind, and Dave Douglas has only just he's lost another 5 points, but really good for Josh Micklemore in this one. He's made up a few.
Yeah, he's up 5 spots from his starting position. Fletcher up 7, so he's the only other bigger mover other than Josh there. So, and Jamie Nankervis up 5 spots as well. So. Yeah, he's certainly Skurlock's getting a bit of a move on in the race here, or Sammy's just backing it off a bit. Might be trying to
with
do a bit of entertainment.
With 3 to go, Andrew, I'm going to let you do a lap for yourself and go and take him on a lap. I'm going to walk away for a second. The floor is yours, and we'll bring it home together in 2 laps' time.
Righto, mate. Let's see how we go here. We'll see what Skurlock can do as they head up into Forest Elbow here. He's 4.5 seconds behind Sammy, so I don't know if Sammy's just getting a bit sore wrist, or he's might be just letting him catch up a bit, try and get a bit of a last lap entertainment, or he's just settled into a routine and he's gone. So I think he'll hold it at staying around the 4.5 second mark. But Skurlock, yeah, the two of them, no incidents. I'd say they've both got 0 incident points on him there, but Skurlock getting a bit skatey there as he comes up through the cutting. Close to the fence there over as they come just up here. You want to stay as close to the grate there as you can. Stay in it. As JCW said before, they're pinned the whole way across the top here. And then right across the top of Skyline, stay away from that ripple strip. And dance the car down through the dipper. Into the S's and through the dipper here. Hopefully he hasn't got his rear brake bias wound up too much, as Aiden said before. He found that out in practice. He's got that just tucked in nicely. Comes out. Still on the 4/10 of a second, so I think Sammy's got it in the bag. I can't see him pulling 4/10 out of him in the last 2.5, 3 laps. So what have we got there? Skurlock, so 4.3 now, and then Martin's 17 seconds further down the field from Sammy K. We got Dave Douglas in 4th, Josh McElmore in 5th, Lachlan Yu, I'm going to call him because I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, in 6th, Jamie Nankervis in 7, Rob Fletcher, who's, as I said before, up 7 spots. So as Aiden's saying, he's a dirt specialist, done very well to jump up a bit in this. Terry Marwood in 9th, and Ruben Phelps rounds out your top 10. As we flick back over to Sammy K coming out of Hell's Corner, up Mountain Straight, I think is the second last time. Well, he's knocked it down to 3.5 seconds here, so Gerlock has got his foot buried into the pedal box there.
And it's really weird. I'm back, Andrew. Sorry, I just walked away for a second. Thank you for thank you for taking the reins there. But my oh no, it's just updated. My live timing had Jason Martin in 2nd, so I jumped back on and thought, what's going on here? So Skurlock is definitely winding it back in, bringing it to under 3 seconds as we got 2 to go. Sam Katakazunas who won.
Sammy K.
Sammy K, as you who'd you nickname earlier as well? Mickey D. Sammy K, Mickey D. We're just going to give them all nicknames. Yeah. We got 2 laps to go. Sam Katakazinas, who was the winner of the IndyCar round at Watkins Glen Boot. He's going for the first double winner of the Intersim Esports Network Series. But ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in because Michael Skurlock in the car behind in the 250 or 350 car.
350, yep.
350. Oh, as he gets loose, that's not going to help him. He was trying real hard. He lost about a second there. I thought he was going to be able to come back in. So if Sam keeps it nice and straight, it looks like Sam's got this one tied up. But ladies and gentlemen, everyone from Australia, New Zealand, all around the world, anyone that's tuning in to the Intersim Esports Network Switch Up Series, thank you for joining us tonight. We're about to go on the last lap of 20 laps around Mount Panorama, Bathurst, with Sam Katakazunas in 1st place, Michael Skurlock 3.6 seconds behind in 4th, and Jason Martin in 3rd, which is a really solid drive for Jason. He's going to consolidate his spot at the top of the championship. So let's see what happens. But as we've seen tonight, anyone can make a mistake. There's still 6.1 kilometres to go for Sam. So let's go and see how they end up at the end of this race as we see Skurlock there trying to fight back as he pulls it. He's back to about 3.5 seconds. He's definitely pulling on him. If he didn't make that mistake, I reckon we might have seen something at the end. But we go into the white flag here at round 5 of the Intersim Esports Network Switch Up Series with Sam Katakazinas going up Mountain Straight at the moment to do his last 6 kilometres around Mount Panorama Bathurst with Michael Skurlock right behind him.
Definitely having a crack at Skurlock. Seen him slide up over the ripple strip out of Hell Corner there, so he's definitely got his foot buried on that right pedal.
He definitely does, but these two guys have been a class above as we see Sam Katakazunas, and sorry I've said it 3 different times all night, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm sure he'll be the first to tell me how to say it properly. So his hometown is in Melbourne in Victoria, out of the cold state at the moment because it'd be really cold down there. Sam does race in real life, and he raced at Sydney Motorsport Park, I believe, last week, and in his real life race car. So really good to have people of that caliber to be able to race in our series. He does race for Team Bushfink Racing in the iRacing server. So really, really good job, and it's just showing the quality of him now as he brings it across the top of the mountain. All he's got to do is dance it down the hill now, just nice and smooth, take those corners, get it nice, all the way down now into the dipper, out of the dipper, nice and smooth again, and then get a nice, good run onto Conrod Straight.
He'd have a 0 incidence point race too, I'd imagine. I haven't seen, doesn't know. Oh, Skurlock in the background. Just pushed that little bit too hard, Skurlock.
That might actually have something for Jason Martin up in behind him, because Jason was a fair way behind, but it depends how much damage that Skurlock's got out of that. Because he's not going to have the time to do a fast repair at the moment, so we'll see what happens. But we'll stay on board with, as we are about to see, the first 2-time winner of the inaugural Intersim Esports Network Switch Up Series, Sam Katakazinas in car number 968, as we go under the Armorall Bridge. Down into the final corner, just keeps it nice and smooth. And ladies and gentlemen, this is round 5 winner, Sam Katakazinas, as he goes crazy across the line for round 5 of the Intersim Esports Network Switch Up Series from Bathurst. As Michael Skurlock does hold on to P2. Jason Martin must have had an issue because he's a long way behind as we see Jason now go across the line into P3. Well done to the top 3 drivers, and we'll be talking to them shortly. Dave Douglas looks like he's going to bring the car home in P4 as we see him now. Josh Micklemore looks like he's going to be in P5. And Lockie Yu, there's Josh Micklemore now, just coming across. Nice solid result by Josh there in P5. He'll be happy with that one to get some points.
Yeah, no, I don't think much is going to change. The timing board, I'd say they're going to finish where they are now. So Lockie Yu, Jamie Nankervis and Robbie Fletcher, Terry Marmwood and Ruben Phelps, you would expect.
Yeah, definitely looks like that's the way they're going to go. A lot of these guys got wrecked early. They use fast repairs. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys said about the race, because it seemed pretty uneventful from a commentator's point of view, Andrew. I think you would agree, but I think from in the car it might have been a little bit different.
2 tyres, 2 right ones.
Yeah, there's still definitely a handful to drive. I would have preferred a few more battles throughout the field, but it is what it is. Hopefully the boys had fun. That's what it's all about in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll start pulling the boys up into the booth while they're finishing at the moment. I'll let you just take them all through the end of the race, if you wouldn't mind, Andrew.
No worries. So obviously we've got Sam Katakazinas, Sammy K in P1. Michael Skurlock, 5.7 seconds behind in P2. Jason Martin in P3. Dave Douglas 4. Josh Micklemore in 5. Lachlan Yu in 6. Jamie Nankervis, Rob Fletcher, Terry Marmwood and Ruben Phelps in 7, 8, 9 and 10. Shannon Wright in 11. Someone we haven't seen that much of tonight. Your mate Mickey D, down 9 spots he's in pit, so he's down 9 laps. JCW, obviously, after that crash, it had enough. He's down 12 laps. Luke Trahair, Sean McLaughlin and Sean King didn't actually set a time, those last 2, so that
Yeah,
rounds
really,
out our race.
really good race by everyone there. Like we said, it was a little bit slow from what we saw on the broadcast, but I'm sure there's a lot that guys want to. There's a lot that a lot of guys want to say about that race. So we do have the top 3 up in the broadcast booth at the moment. And first of all, P3, Jason Martin, have you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, mate.
Mate, interesting race there. I don't know what you thought from your end. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of a smaller field as we see
They're all
people
going the big jump.
trying to do the big jump over down through the chase. But I don't know what you thought of the race there and what the setup was like. It was a smaller field than what we expected. Yeah, how'd your race go, mate?
I had real good fun in the first half, racing Dave for the whole time, and I'd get by him, then he'd get back by me, and yeah, that was good fun. But in the second half, I seemed to have cleared away from him, so I don't know what happened there, but yeah, good fun.
Yeah, it was good fun. Like I said, unfortunately, a little bit of a smaller field. We were expecting bigger, especially Bathurst with the Legends. It was a bit like the Dirt the other week. I know we have people with different specialities that they want to run, etc. So as we go next week in Dirt, we're probably going to get a big field, especially with the street stock, and then we go to Chicagoland, which I know is some of your guys' specialities that I race against every week. So what do you think of the series? What do you think of what we're doing? Is there anything you think we could change up? Is there anything you think that's going to drag more people in here? Because we really like bringing this to you guys. We love you guys having fun on a Friday night. Yeah, get amongst it. Just tell us what you think.
Got to keep promoting how much good fun it is to jump into all these different cars and see how everyone goes, and yeah, just stick with it, keep promoting it, and hopefully the numbers will come.
Yeah, mate, the numbers have been there, and we go different round. It doesn't matter what series we run, but we just really appreciate you guys. Guys, we run week in, week out, supporting our series and getting amongst it. But on more of a personal note, Jace, really good race for you again tonight, because that's really consolidated you in first position again in the championship.
Mate, anytime I get even close to a top 5 on a road, I'm happy with that. So to get third, yeah, I'm stoked.
Mate, you did great. You just extended your lead again. But as you know, round 11 and 12, and you come into this series not thinking you were going to be able to run every round, and you've done all 5 so far, and you're leading it. So round 11 and 12 are double points, so it's a long way from done yet. But amazing drive tonight, mate. Well done. And hopefully we'll see you next Friday night on the Dirt. But before we let you go, mate, is there anyone you want to thank tonight?
The boys at Mitch Motorsports. Great drive tonight. Josh with a 5th place, I think, and Robbie Fletcher with an 8th. So, yeah, good results all round. Yeah, Dave, great fun racing you. Well done, Sam, on the win. And, of course, thanks Into Sim Esports for putting on the series.
No, thank you, mate. Thank you for being a part of it, and thank you for allowing us to bring you up in the booth. I know sometimes you're a man of few words, so we do appreciate you giving us your time. But we will quickly jump across to Joshy Mickelmore as we brought him up into the booth. Yes, he come P5, but we do not have Michael Skurlock up at the moment, although I believe he has he hasn't messaged me. Joshy, we brought you up. Skirley's not in here at the moment to do a P2, so we thought we'd just bring you up here. You made yourself available to do a lap while you were mid-race at the moment, mate. What was your feedback on the race for all the viewers at home?
Loved it, mate. I haven't drove this car for a few years, but since I sort of started iRacing, I think. But yeah, I've always sort of wanted to do a race around Bathurst, around here in the, and yeah, it was a bloody lot of fun. Definitely recommend it.
And how'd the car handle, though? What did you think of the car? Did you think you had much? Was there slipstream? I was really trying to get a slipstream down the back straight for you guys to be able to fan out, and I was really surprised that how quickly the gaps broken up between the field. I was really surprised on that. What was your feeling from in the car and how it drove?
Yeah, wasn't a huge slipstream down the straight. But at the start there, we're having a good battle there with JCW, Lachlan Erclio, and Jason, and I think Dave was in that pack. But then coming down the mountain, a few of them wrecked there. And then after then, I still didn't have anyone around me for the rest of the race, really. But yeah, as the race went on, under brakes, the car definitely got a lot more free. But yeah, I didn't take tyres that whole run and still managed to keep the tyres on the track. So it wasn't too bad, man.
Yeah, that's good, mate. That's good. Good that you all had fun, and glad you guys are all jumping on and supporting Andrew. Is there anything you want to add to Josh before we let him go?
No, not really, mate. You pretty much covered it all there. You jumped 5 spots, Josh, so that's not a bad effort. Robbie Fletcher was the only one that with 7 spots from the start, but good effort there, moving up 5 spots.
Cheers, man.
No worries, Josh. Well, thank you for jumping on, mate. We'll see you during the week and a lot of other racing that we do. But we, again, as I've said a million times, Paul, me and Prue and Andrew and everyone else involved in the InterSim Esports Network Switch Up series, do thank you guys for making your time every Friday night to be a part of this series. And drivers of your caliber, we really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. Before we let you go, Josh, is there anyone you want to have a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, some Mitch Motorsport boys, Jason, Rob, race tonight. Good job, fellas. They managed to all keep the cars clean and have a good race. So, and you guys, InterSim Esports, for putting on the event, and bloody good fun. Have a few beers and race on Friday night. It's always bloody good. And also Jason Baxter. He's in hospital with a broken ankle at the moment, so hopefully you get better, buddy, if you're still watching, mate. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks, Josh, and that's why we created this, to be able to have a couple of beers. Not that we promote drink driving, but this is iRacing, so to be able to have some good fun on a Friday night with some good competitive racing. And I'll back up what you said. I don't know Jason, but Jason Baxter from all us here at InterSim Esports Network, we wish you all the best with whatever you're going through there in hospital. So wish you all the best. But Josh, thanks again, mate. We'll let you go and we'll move on to the first double winner of the inaugural InterSim Esports Network Switch Up Series, Sam Katakazinos. Is that how we pronounce it, Sam? I've been saying it wrong all night, I think. Can you
Gold
tell
star
me?
for you, buddy. That was well done. If you could keep that, that'd be great.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
You pronounced Sam perfectly.
Oh yeah. Well, can I get the K and all the other stuff right next time?
Yeah, you did. Pulling
Yeah.
your leg there. You actually did really well with my surname too.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Well, amazing drive tonight. We know you do a lot of real-world racing. We see it all. I'm on your socials. We're all on each other's socials, and we see what's going on. First of all, before we go on to tonight's race, how did you go last weekend?
Oh, what did we do last weekend?
Can't remember that.
You put me on the spot.
No, all right, let's move on. All right, so how'd your race go tonight, mate? Like, you were seriously quicker than everyone. How'd you feel from inside the car? Like, did you feel like you had massive pace, or you were just sort of rolling around thinking, okay, I'm faster and I'm just going to take my time?
I got the launch that I wanted from the start. Got the gap that I really needed because I didn't want the draft to be used on me, and I was able to start peeling away. And then I was wondering, are you guys going to call a full course yellow or not? And so I decided I was going to wait till the very end to see if that was going to happen. And depending on whether you were or not, and depending on the gap behind me, I was going to either just add fuel or take fuel and tires, especially with if you were going to call a yellow. But that didn't happen. And I saw the gap to be about 30 plus seconds. And I thought, I think I can carry this home without the tyres. And I did.
Yeah, well, like you've seen the first 4 rounds in the series and now 5 rounds, we don't call random yellows. So it's all done on iRacing. We're not going to do that. So Yeah, so you
No,
don't need to worry
you
about
don't
that.
call random yellows. You don't call competition yellows. But if there was going to be
A full course.
a huge accident, there may have been, I don't know, there may have been a yellow. So I kept that in the back of my mind, keeping my options open. And yeah, so the start of the race was me really enjoying the car, really enjoying the tyres. And I think about lap 6 onwards, the tyres started to make their presence felt, or lack of presence felt, to be more
Lack of
accurate.
presence.
And then, yeah, I think about lap 12 onwards, she was starting to get very, very slidey. So it was oval mentality mode then. Minimize the steering, smooth with the throttle and the pedal, smooth with everything, trying to preserve those tyres, keep them till the end. And then, yeah, I think it was lap 16 or 17, I came into pit, added the 4 litres of fuel, no tyres came out, and there was still a gap. And
Yeah, but we had, sorry to cut you off there, Sam, but we had Michael Skurlock really making a the end. He got to within nearly 3 seconds of you at the end. Were you worried about him at the end?
2.5 on the last lap.
He did hit the wall coming onto Conrod.
Yep.
So that really ruined it for him. But did you have your eyes in the mirror?
You should have heard me in the cockpit when I saw that gap. When I realised what happened with Skurlock, I was like, "Yay! My main threat's gone." I started being happy and wiggling the wheel down the straight.
Sam, you got to stop muting yourself in Discord so we can record that, mate.
Well, I was sitting in my own Discord channel down here, my team channel, and yeah, it was. He was making me take an eye off the windscreen and one eye in the mirror, but his lap times, even though with fresh tyres and the gap that he had taken those tyres, because they take a while to actually get on, I thought if I just keep it smooth, I could probably stay in front of him maybe a second, 2 seconds. And yeah, he fought hard and he really started winding down, trumping the bit, and he got really close. He made a couple of mistakes a couple of laps before, and then there was another mistake on the last lap. I'm not exactly sure what he did, but yeah, big relief. And I was happy to finish the race with one set of tyres.
Mate, you did an amazing job to be able to do that on one set of tyres and to be able to fight off the likes of the people behind you. As we said in the broadcast, it was a little bit uneventful from us up here in the broadcast booth, but I'm sure down there in the cars, it wasn't uneventful at all. So we do thank you. And you are the first double winner of the Intersim Esports Network series for its inaugural series.
The first double winner?
Yep, first double round winner. So you've won 2 rounds.
Oh, the IndyCar first round and this one?
Yep.
Oh, really? I'm the first? Yes. Okay, I'll take it. I'm pretty happy with that.
So now you get on our cover photo and some interviews and all that stuff coming up later. So, no, we thank you so much, Sam. And anyone you want to make a shout out to before we let you go tonight?
Oh, yes. Intersim for running the series and broadcasting it. The Switch Up series is a great idea. I love the fact that every week we come back and do a different car track discipline combination, which I'm good at some and I'm crap at others, but that's part of the fun of it, and I keep coming back for more. And my team Bushfink Racing, they've had me for a few years. I really like being in their company, and I want to give a special shout out to a league called the Legends of the Island, who run a Saturday. Every Saturday they run Legends, these cars, and I thought this was a car that I should get to know better, and was really crap at the start. But with these guys and every week, I really got to enjoy this car. So I felt comfortable entering this round.
And that's I brought
sorry.
that up at the start of the race there, Sam. I raced with you in the Southern Cross Series and the Island, which they do, Phillip Island Legends. They do come here a fair bit, so you've had a fair bit of practice in these things around this track. So
Yeah,
felt
this
confident.
has been a combo. They run their own setup,
Yep.
a nice tweaked setup. It's much quicker. It still has the same problem with fronts wearing away as the more laps you do. But yeah, good base. So thanks for putting up with me, guys. It paid off.
Yeah, Sam,
well,
I need to jump in there, and that's really good. And this is what iRacing is about. That's what we are. We are a community, and it might be our league, it might be our broadcast, but I ran Legends at the Island last weekend for the first time, and I only caught the late one at night in the in the street stock, and it is a really good series and really good fun. They don't have trophies and all the stuff that we're doing in our league, but this is what we need
They
to
run a
do.
paper championship. You know, there's a championship there, but it's really, there's no live admin. There's no
Yeah, but this is what
race control. It's just a ton of fun.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what we need to do more. So, and I appreciate your comments there. Is support the iRacing community and support all our leagues, because a lot of us put a lot of effort into being able to do this. So, guys, go on and support Legends at the Island. Do that type of stuff, because if you love racing and like having fun, this is what we do it for. And at the end of the day, if we're not having fun, what's the point in doing it? So, very well said there, Sam, to be able to bring up other things, but it definitely did help you tonight. So we do thank you for your time, mate. Appreciated so much. Well done on the win. You'll get some nice photos, etc. at the end of it. So thank you so much.
I thought you were going to say chocolate. You're going to give me chocolate.
Oh, I can if you want.
I would like to get some chocolate. That'll be all right. No, just kidding. But yeah, guys, thanks again for putting this together. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I know that some weeks, I know there's one week I didn't make it, and there were some other weeks where I wasn't at the pointy end. But nevertheless, the whole idea I think is brilliant, and yeah, I'll be back next season, as well as doing this season.
No worries, Sam. Well, thank you so much for your time and your kind words as we let Sam go and celebrate with his champagne and chocolate.
Yes.
We'll just recap the results now. And in P1, we had Sam Katakazinas in P1 for Team Bushfink Racing. P2 was Michael Skurlock for Crank Esports. P3, Jason Martin. P4, Dave Douglas. P5, Josh Micklemore for Mitch Motorsports, as Jason Martin was as well. P6, Lachlan Urquio. I never know. I don't know how to pronounce that stuff. But P7, Jamie Nankervis, EFT Racing, followed by Rob Fletcher in P8, Terry Marwood P9. For EFT Racing, Ruben Phelps in P10 for RP Motorsports, Shannon Wright P11 for EFT Racing, Mirko Dortonak for Crank Esports in P12, JCW, Joshua Carroll Walden, who took you on the lap earlier in the broadcast, in P13 for Natari Autosports, P14 Luke Trahair, unfortunately 19 laps down for Crank Esports, Sean King in P15, and rounding out the field in P16 was Sean McLaughlin. Looks like that we had Sean King and Sean McLaughlin not start. But ladies and gentlemen, Andrew, before we go, anything you want to add before we wrap up the broadcast tonight?
I think we've covered it all, Aidan. It was well done to Sam there, obviously, and winning. It looks like he had it under control by the sounds of things there. He started to panic a bit as Skurlock came back in the end, but I was always pretty confident he was going to win that one from as soon as I saw him qualify in P1. So, yeah, not the best race to call from our point of view, but I'm sure the boys had fun, as they have all said, and they'll all be back to do it again next Friday.
Yeah, I'm sure they will as we go to dirt again next Friday and then onto the ovals where we will see 30-plus cars. So we thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in, as I say, all the time from Australia, New Zealand, all around the world. Great to see you tuning into InSim Esports Network. Before we go, thank you to our sponsors again, Vision Simages, Locked On Lads, Locked On iRacing, TP Graphics, Abruzzi Australia, Mayhem 4x4 Mechanical, Virtual Motorsport Mentor, Voodoo Vernals and Signs, and most of all, the competitors for making InterSim Esports Network Switch Up Series happen. So from Aidan, Prue, Paul, Andrew, my fellow commentator tonight, and all the drivers, we thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you this time next Friday. Good night.